I know just the place.
We're back again, and we're back in the new gym. You guys are going to see a lot more content pumping out, but so the topic today, if you guys didn't see the little, what do they call it, a crop or still shot, is going to be fad diets. All about the fad diets going into the New Year's.
Everybody wants those New Year's resolutions. Starting up January, you know, I always say, why wait though? You should just start now.
Yeah.
You know,
avoid the rush.
Yeah, right, and then get a head start on it, like. You know, while everybody's starting late, you should be working on it now, you know. No point in ever stopping, really.
I don't know if you guys can see how cold it is in here. But yeah, it's pretty chilly. We're probably pushing like 35 degrees in here, but we're still, we're loving it. So, I guess we'll go over some of the bigger things that people jump into when they begin their weight loss journey, aka just watching the scale go down or try to as fast as possible is what most people chase.
People want to see instant results, you know, like what's going to lose the most weight the quickest, you know, and that's why people love like keto, low carb. You lose a ton of water weight, but that's what it is. It's water weight.
Yep.
You know, like
water and carbs go together.
Yeah, you're going to lose a lot of glycogen, water, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, time out. Wait a second.
I'm on the sauce.
Rob's got to admit. He's got to admit he's on the sauce.
It's all natural, though.
All natural applesauce.
Unsweetened.
We don't blend juices here. We don't juice. We go on the sauce.
We're on the sauce. Post-workout carbs. But, anyways. Keto, you know, like...
That's a huge one. Keto and, you know, basically if anybody doesn't know what that is, kind of go over what it is real quick.
Yeah, you're eating... no carbs, basically. Like, I think it's, I don't know, you get like 20 grams a day or something ridiculous.
Right, and the reason why people go keto is...
quick weight loss, really.
And they're fooled.
And then they want to eat bacon all the time.
They want to eat. We don't promote bacon in here because we got the piggies, but a lot of people love bacon.
You know, it's like, it's great. You can eat wings and bacon, but yeah, you want some spaghetti? Nope. You want a piece of bread? Nope.
And the reason a lot of people jump into this keto diet is because
it's easy. You know, you think you don't gotta track calories. You just, as long as you don't eat any carbs,
you're good to go.
It's simple.
And here's,
but you know, you can easily go over your daily calories in fat. Fat is 9 calories per gram, so it's like
it's over twice the calories per gram per carbs for 4 calories versus 9. But they think carbs make you fat, and we have a video on that. So you guys should go watch that and realize that carbs do not make you fat.
Eating too much of anything makes you fat. You have to eat less than you burn, you know. If you're eating more than you burn, doesn't matter what it is, you know, although it'd be really hard to eat more broccoli than, you know, calories you're burning because there's so little calories in it. But like, you know, you're eating, you know, even like potatoes and rice, stuff like that. They're low calorie, pretty healthy. You know, if you're eating more calories than you burn, you know, it doesn't matter if it's fat or carbs or anything, you know, you're going to gain weight, you know. If you're eating less, you're going to lose weight. So, the best thing to do is track calories, track macros. As long as you get enough protein and you're eating less calories than you burn, you're going to lose fat. You know, that's the way to do it.
And then the other thing, too, is...
I like to say fat loss, not weight loss, because,
you want a body recount.
You don't want to lose muscle. You don't want to lose...
Don't chase the number on a scale. That's the silliest thing you can get into.
Yeah, because especially if you've never weightlifted before, you could be gaining muscle and losing fat
at the same time,
and
newbie gains.
You're looking better. Your clothes might be fitting looser,
and you're not seeing the scale.
You're not seeing the scale move, so people get all caught up in that and frustrated.
Not to mention ketosis takes a while.
Yeah,
I mean you're depriving. Like people don't realize like when they get brain fog after taking a test and stuff, they don't realize how much glycogen the brain consumes. Mm-hmm. So then like. You're taking the number one fuel source away from your brain, which is glycogen. Same thing that our muscles use when we're working out to provide energy to stimulate concentric and eccentric actions. So you're forcing your brain to manipulate ketone, which is basically...
Once your body starts getting those ketones, then you'll have the energy or whatever.
And the whole reason you've went on this is because you've been fooled to thinking that carbs are bad and you need to remove carbs to lose weight. That is the biggest, silliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I mean, it's
carbs were here for a reason.
I love carbs, and I just can't get over looking at something being like, that product has 20 grams of fat. I can't eat something like that. It just seems ridiculous to me, all that fat. Like, it's not even super high protein. It's just sometimes the fat is higher than the protein because that's what your body's using for energy.
Right.
And a lot of people do it wrong too. Like, a lot of people won't do true keto. Like, you have to stay with it. You can't be eating carbs. Like, some people will think, like, if you are just eating a regular diet and, they'll be like, oh, this product is keto, I'm just going to add it to my diet and it's going to help me. No, it's just adding fat to your normal diet, and that's going to be going the opposite way. You're like, you have to be all in or all out with keto. Like, you have to be 100% if you're going to make it work.
You want to transition into that, but that's just like a miserable process that you're going to go through.
It's really only beneficial for people that are severely overweight, obese, or like sedentary.
Yeah.
If you work out, if you're an athlete,
you should not be.
You're going to more benefit from those carbs.
Way more.
If you're a bodybuilder, if you're a strength athlete, if you're any sport really, you need those carbs for.
Carbs pretty much drive performance. It's the number one fuel source for the body, and So then, speaking of all right, so ketosis is probably not something you want to jump into. You're going to go through a very miserable time trying to provide yourself.
Most people probably give up because
it sucks.
It's fun at first because you're eating all this bacon and cheese,
but it's not.
And then, like, after a couple of weeks, you just want some bread.
Yeah, and your body needs bread as a fuel source. Like, it needs glycogen. You're depriving it. So, like,
fruit, there's a lot of nutrients you're missing out on.
Yeah, and then people think, high fructose corn syrup. It's not the same thing. But let's stay on a course of like dissecting these fad diets real quick. So ketosis generally not accepted. One thing I want to sprinkle on is like just fad diets in general, like Atkins and stuff. All right, let me just give a quick breakdown of this, and then I want to get into the big topic of the day, which is what most people are choosing to do nowadays and trying to dabble into in vegan diets. And Rob's going to get all over that. But I was talking to a client, and one of the things I noticed was they were being rewarded highly, aka like a well meal, because they were eating a salmon patty, and it was like the points in whatever the system that they were using for
like a Weight Watchers,
something like that, where they have blocks or points, and the salmon patty was actually deemed very good for them. And then I was like, can you send me the macros of the salmon patty, because I'm curious. They were just basically deeming it really good product because you're eating a salmon patty, you're not eating like a burger. So I looked at the salmon patty, and it was like 14 grams of protein to like 18 grams of fat.
Wow.
And I'm just like, wait a second. I was like, what's going on with this thing? I was like, she's like, well, what do you mean? I was like, well, that can't be a salmon patty. That's got to be like salmon sprinkled in there with some other horse shit.
You must add something to it. Because salmon usually has more protein than fat.
Exactly. So that I was like, here, let me show you what salmon has in its real true form macro wise. It's like 20 something grams, 18 grams. So like 2 grams of fat or 6 grams of fat.
No, salmon's high. Salmon, well, it depends on what kind of salmon, but a lot of salmon.
It's not super high, but like 6-8 grams, something like that. You could look it up real quick for like a 6-ounce serving, but generally, not generally speaking, always, when you look at salmon, it's always going to have more protein than fat. No matter what. We don't care what the ratio is. Not anywhere near 50-50, and certainly not more fat than protein. So then
there's got to be a lot of calories in that.
So then you look at this salmon patty, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like, look at all the ingredients that are in there with the salmon. So you're talking like maybe like 4% of the patty is actually salmon meat, and the rest is just horse shit. So I'm like, oh my God. I was like, so then you look at these apps, and they're telling you that like that's okay to eat, but most people don't understand that that's not okay. So
you got all these like, Weight Watchers, Slim Fast. They want you to eat their bars and shakes all day, and then you have like, one meal at night.
Their products, and they're overpriced.
The worst thing about that is that sustainable. The biggest thing with a diet, you want to lose weight, or you want to lose fat, not weight.
Right.
You want to lose weight, you want to make it sustainable. You can't just go on a diet, lose 50 pounds or whatever, and then be like, all right, I achieved my goal.
I'm done.
I'm just going to go back to eating, and I'm just going to stay at this weight. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to, whatever you did to get there, you have to keep doing to stay there.
Right.
Same with weightlifting. That's why you can't just lift weights. Oh, I've built all the muscle I need. I can stop lifting weights, and I'm just going to stay like this. No, you have to keep doing what you're doing to stay where you're at.
Then,
so are you going to drink Slim Fast shakes your whole life, all day, or Atkins bars and all these other, I mean, yeah, sure, it's a lot better than a candy bar, like if you're looking for a healthy replacement or something.
And if that's what gets you to eat good or semi-decent, I guess I should say, then go ahead and do it.
But get you there, but
you're watching this video for a reason, and now you're realizing that's not the way to go.
If you can learning the sound nutritional principles, so that way you can, use those as a tool along with it.
Right.
As long as you know how to replace those with normal food, that is, going to last you in the long run. Counting macros, calories, all that kind of stuff. So you don't want to rely on your Weight Watchers frozen meals or all these. No. Sometimes these bars are high in fat, high in
and they taste like.
Some of them are really good.
Some are good, some are bad.
Really good, yeah. But some of them, you want to know how to read labels. Really, reading labels is very important. Because some bars, they always, it's marketing. They always advertise it as healthy. Some of them not so much. Some of them are really good. Quest bars, FitJoy. A lot of these bars that have no sugars, high protein, not too high fat. But some of them are if it's higher fat than protein, you got a problem.
Yeah, no bueno there. So we got to get rolling here into this vegan topic real quick because this is what we wanted to dive into.
It's another thing, people think.
We didn't.
Another diet that's popular.
It's the biggest one right now.
You want to be healthy. You want to lose weight. Oh, I'm going to go vegan.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But
and
things first.
Number one reason why you should be vegan.
Vegan diets are for people. You do a vegan diet for ethical reasons. It's not for weight loss. It's not for to be healthier. It's for ethical reasons and ethical reasons only. It's not healthy nor good for weight loss. It's good for if you don't believe in killing animals. That's
pretty much
really it. Because vegan diets, a lot of vegan products, you look at these products and they're actually higher in calories than their non-vegan counterparts. I go to the store and I saw this Beyond Burger patties, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the nutrition facts, if you don't believe me, look at the grocery store. A lot of grocery stores have it. Literally, it's worse than a regular hamburger, but...
Like 80-20?
It's the fat in it. A lot of vegan products are really high in fat and sugars and carbs and low in protein. But they want, you need protein. It's got 20 grams of protein, yeah. It's got 18 grams of fat.
Jesus.
Get ground turkey, even lean, 94% lean ground beef is
93.7 is less than that.
Way less, 7 grams of fat, you can get 99% lean ground turkey, has 2 grams of fat or something. And, 18 grams of fat. And only 20 grams of protein.
And that's pretty much like you said across the board with most of these products, and
probably twice the cost too. They're expensive.
They're expensive. Yeah.
They're expensive.
And most people are trying to justify this movement by now taking athletes and saying, well, they're vegan. I'll go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say that most of these athletes that they're broadcasting right now are vegan at the time. They're not vegans they're not coming up and doing what they're doing, coming into these films being lifetime vegans. Get the flying shit out of here. They ate meat. They got to a point. Some promoter said, I want you to be vegan. Now look, I'm going to go out and tell you guys, as much as we don't like vegan diets, because I am not somebody who's just going to naysay something and not do it. When we were prepping for 2019, I went 4 weeks full vegan. And I am somebody who is strict enough to actually go full bore with this and not cheat and do anything silly. There was absolutely not one single animal product for 4 weeks. And I felt fine. The prep still went okay, and it's people say, well, is a vegan diet possible? Well, it is obviously possible right now. Modern technology makes that possible. Why? Because we have the ability to get complete protein vegan sources, which are in nature very difficult to do.
Yeah. There's powders your Vega and like all these brands.
All this stuff, it's all complete now.
They have really good tasting too. Like I drink Vega shakes. They're brown rice protein, hemp protein, all that kind of stuff.
So I did that, and obviously I made vegan chili. I did all this stuff. It was real good food, and I was making it, and I was losing weight and everything because I manipulated it correctly. But at the end of the day, it does not hold its weight in counter to actually eating carbohydrates. And one of the reasons why, I'll try and sum this up as quick as I can and let Rob get back to these points, but pre-technology, I don't know, let's just say you go back to the 1800s when people don't even know how to eat right, they don't know what a diet or nutrition is, and there's no like vast transportation system manipulating all these foods everywhere. People were kind of just eating what they had on a farm, and local farmers sent it out, and that was pretty much it. And if you were vegan back then, the only way you would not be getting iron deficient and not being protein deficient, because if you guys are watching this video, I don't know if you know or not, but most vegetable products are not complete proteins. So therefore, when you're going to go and eat a vegan product in pre-modern technology times, you would have to know the amino profile of the vegetable you're eating, and then you would need to know, okay, it's got 5 out of the 9 aminos. I need to go find this plant now that has the other 4. I eat those at the same time. I have 9. Not sustainable as a human prior to modern technology. In fact, if you were trying to do that before modern technology, you were probably going to die from iron deficiency, because there's just no way somebody back pre-modern tech, when they knew about all this amino acid profile and stuff, is going to know what plants to pair, let alone be lucky enough to be around a plant that's going to, or plants around them that are going to have all these nutrients. Now you can sit there and say, okay, we got wheat. Wheat's complete protein. Great, yeah, wheat is one of them. But again, you have to remember, these people have to know to eat that. And then how much wheat you would have to eat to get your adequate RDA, like 0.3 of a gram, which is horseshit if you ask me, because that's just to live. You want to be optimal. But yeah, basically to sum it up, you go back even further to caveman times, there's just no way that it would be feasible as a human to be a vegan.
Yeah, nobody gave a fuck about their diet. They just ate to survive.
Cavemen saw people trying to eat leaves, and they saw them dying, and they were like, don't eat leaves. We need to we need to eat those other mammals.
Nobody was obese either, because they're all working hard. They're not sedentary,
So it's like, what are we talking about here?
The one thing that all diets have in common for health and weight loss is high protein. Nobody goes out, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do that new low protein diet. It just doesn't exist. All these diets are high protein. There's low carb diets, there's low fat diets, there's low calorie diets, and there's not low protein diets.
No, and that was exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, when you go vegan,
it's low protein.
Usually it's low protein, but like, let's just say you were shooting for high protein. Now, I'm just telling you, it's possible in modern technology times, but before this, without modern tech, to get your adequate protein as an athlete from eating strictly vegetables and being vegan would be so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. You're going to eat 200 to 300 grams of protein from vegetables, and they're all going to be complete amino acid profiles. No, you're not going to do that. So internally, from a long-term standpoint, from our history, rooted, whatever you want to call it, in civilization back then, we weren't designed to be vegan. It just wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And
it's more so about the protein than whether it's meat or not, because I actually haven't eaten meat since, I'm not against eating meat, but I haven't eaten meat since Thanksgiving. Turkey. I eat fish, I eat eggs, I eat whey protein all the time.
And protein is protein.
Protein is protein.
The other thing too,
you gotta have meat, you don't gotta have meat. 50% of my daily diet protein is from whey, I would say.
And one of the things he was talking about earlier was like low protein diets. Usually it's high protein diet for weight loss. Why is that too? We'll just break down science real quick. I'm not going to get into it too much, but satiation of suppressing ghrelin, and then not only that, but
thermic effect.
Yeah, the thermic effect, which you can get into in a whole other podcast. But
and maintaining that muscle to keep your metabolism up.
Yeah, your
metabolism is going to be higher when you're building muscle, maintaining muscle, all that kind of stuff.
And then the last thing that Rob's talked about in previous videos is protein's a 2-step process to go to a fat. Carbs a 1-step process. Your body is less likely to want to store protein as fat than it is carbs. Protein goes to a carb and then gets turned into a fat. Carbs go right to fats. So on that note, watch for these fad diets. You don't want to get tricked into eating something for a suboptimal lifestyle. Like at the end of the day, you always got to go back, because that's the word I always use. Does vegan diet work? Yes. Is vegan diet optimal? No. There's better ways to eat.
Right.
You want to eat for optimization of your own
It's
body.
not for weight loss or health. It's for
saving animals.
Saving animals.
And that's it. Save those piggies.
Yeah.
Do me a favor and save those piggies.
There's other ways to get your protein, sure. It all comes down to, whether you're hitting your macros and calories. Most important thing above all.
So yeah, I don't know. On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up here, and hopefully you guys learned something about...
Start those resolutions now.
Start the fucking gains now! We're out.